just like our computers, sometimes we need a little bit of a defrag. I've actually noticed just how frayed around the edges I've felt on occasion during lockdown. And I thought, it might actually be useful to share a little bit with you about how full my brain has been, because I know that you are feeling the same thing. If you're here in Victoria and you're in lockdown, if you are, if you're in WA and you just come out of lockdown, I'm sure you're going to recognize some of these feelings. Lockdown is a weird experience, especially around the uncertainty of what's going to happen, the uncertainty. So the first week of lockdown is always feels like the toughest. The first few days seem to be the weirdest. You kind of go through this emotional journey of, yay, I can just be in my pajamas for days on end. And then the reality hits of actually, no, you still have to work. You still have to be accountable for all of the things. You still got to put the rubbish bins out. You still got to do all that stuff. I noticed a couple of things that happened last night that really indicated to me that I needed to sort of block out some space in my brain for accommodating all that extra background noise that comes with being in lockdown. So that background noise is the stuff like not knowing when this is going to end. Obviously, we're doing okay here in Victoria, and I'm expecting we'll get some kind of announcement tomorrow confirming whether or not we're coming out of lockdown tomorrow night, or whether we've got more lockdown to deal with. Who knows? But that uncertainty, that's background noise in my brain. That's constantly there. It's just that background hum, if you like. Then there's also the monitoring of the news channels on social media. So I keep an eye on Twitter, and I follow the Victorian Health Department on Twitter, and I've got it set so I get a notification when they post something new. I think on Twitter that might be the only organisation I have set to notify me when they announce something, because I don't want to fill my life up with all of the nonsense and waste all my time on Twitter, right? But I have found myself refreshing at certain times of the day to see if there's been an announcement about numbers, for example, or an announcement about something from the Premier from his live press conference, or whatever it might be. So that background noise of awareness of what's going on. Actually, I can hear some background noise. I think I've got some mice, some child-sized mice in my kitchen getting themselves some snacks. But that background noise of being aware and conscious of what's going on in the news as well. Is there any new news around what's going on for our situation? That adds to the background hum. Now, just like your computer, when there's too many tabs open at once, things are going to perform a little slower. And your capacity to hold new things or to concentrate on certain things will be reduced. Your capacity to remember to do things. So your short-term memory, not in the way that somebody with a memory impairment is going to experience it, but you might find that you're a bit more forgetful. You might find your mood is a little bit more fragile and a bit more easily pushed in the wrong direction. Hands up, that was me last night. Mood pushed in the wrong direction. So without going into gory details, it was just the end of the day. I'd had a big working day. My older son had his first day of remote learning. He's at high school now, so very different experience for him and for me of what remote learning looked like last year compared to what it looks like for him this year. A lot more independence. My younger son had been told there wouldn't be any homeschooling, and then over the weekend, we got an email saying that information would come and there would be some kind of communication about some kind of contact with the school. Now, I tried to create space in my brain over the weekend, and I made it really clear that we were adjusting to lockdown as it was. I was not going to be reading school materials or work materials or anything like that over the weekend if I could avoid it. So I saved all the school stuff till Monday morning, about 8 o'clock Monday morning, jumped online, did all the things that I thought I needed to do to get ready, and then no communication whatsoever. So I thought, cool, they're not ready yet. This is for the primary school, for my younger kid. End of the day, a message comes through from the teacher, how wonderfully the children had adapted to home learning for the day and how enthusiastic they'd been and how positive they'd been in their approach to the day. It's like crickets. Like clearly we'd missed something. It threw me. It was the end of the day. It was too late for me to do anything about it, but it really threw me, and I felt my mood just go. So I think that, my energy was occupied with keeping myself and my kids in a positive frame of mind throughout the day, focused on my clients that I've been working with throughout the day, and this negative, this basically this evidence that I'd stuffed up royally just plummeted me at the end of the day yesterday, and it really threw my mood, and I really found it hard to come back from. So I made a couple of decisions. I communicated with the teacher honestly and said, look, my husband's interstate, not able to help. I'm working from home normally anyway. Tuesdays, full client day for me. I'm not going to be able to do anything until Wednesday to get this sorted out. And she was very gracious and said, look, is there a window when I can call you and just talk you through what you need to do? So that's the conversation she and I are going to have this afternoon. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to have a chat and she's going to step me through, because I realised in that moment I did not have the mental reserves or the mental capacity to take on that extra information. My brain was full, and I just couldn't squeeze in any more, and certainly not at the end of the day yesterday. So I really want you, the point of telling you the story is to help you cut yourself some slack. Even if you're not in lockdown, if you're juggling all of the balls, people are still exhausted from last year. I'm hearing it all the time. If you're juggling all of the balls, take a minute to just acknowledge how much noise there is in this noggin of yours and how much of an impact it might be having on you to be able to share in new information, or to be able to remember steps for something that you used to be able to do with ease, or remembering how to do a certain thing or how to learn to do something new. And that was my issue last night. I had no capacity left to learn a new thing. So they've got 3 or 4 different platforms that they're utilising for their home learning, their remote learning, and one of them I'd never heard of, and that was enough to set me off. Like I'm talking to my phone now. I wanted to grab this phone and smash it on my desk. I'm not normally that kind of a person, so that was really a warning sign to me that I needed to get self-protective. Close the conversation down graciously, let her know when I could speak to her about what was happening, and let my son know we're just not going to stress about it. There's nothing we can do until I've spoken to the teacher. So now we've got a plan. My plan is talk to the teacher, get all the help. So accept offers of help is a huge thing. This is a phrase that is often mentioned to new parents, but I think it's really important for business owners too when you're trying to juggle all of the balls, especially when you're in lockdown. Accept offers of help. If someone is offering to step you through something that you can't quite get your head around, accept that offer of help and let them help you learn what to do. Let them help you. The other thing is put a plan in place that works for you, that is going to be viable for you. There's no way known I was going to be able to get my youngest son onto his remote learning platforms in time for the school day today. No way whatsoever that was going to happen. So I was upfront and I've made a plan. Kids and I have got an awesome plan. Tomorrow, we're actually going to sit down around the dining table together tomorrow all day. I don't have any clients booked on a Wednesday. And we will sit at the dining table together doing the home learning together with a sweetener, because everyone needs a sweetener, right? And our sweetener is as much Uber Eats as we can tolerate. So we're just going to have a fun day. We're going to make it fun. We're going to figure things out together. My son, who's in high school, he and I will figure out how he's going to churn through the work he needs to get done. My younger son, he'll have a lighter load, of course, and I'll help him as best I can. And we'll spend time, we'll go for walks as well. So allow yourself the opportunity to defrag. This morning when I woke up, I really wanted to go for a walk. That's what I felt I needed. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that because of time pressures. But that was what I felt I needed this morning, was a really long walk to just sort of defrag, some of what was going on in this little computer up here, to allow space. I felt that my brain was full, my energy was depleted, my nerves were frayed, as they may say. So if you can do something for yourself today, what would it be? If you can do something for yourself that's going to help you with the background noise, going to help you with all that pressure, think of like a little pressure release valve for you. Have a think, what would it be? Go do that thing. If it's going for a walk to get yourself the coffee that you're allowed to get yourself while you're in lockdown, do that. Or get some exercise, do that. Watch a funny movie, do that. You know, whatever it might be, listen to a podcast to distract yourself or release that pressure for a bit, or call somebody and have a chat. Whatever it's going to be for you, do that thing. Give yourself permission to make space in your brain so that you can feel a little bit more on track. We might only be in day 4. I think I've called it day 3, but it's actually day 4 of lockdown. We're actually only in day 4, but it's already exhausting. 2 reasons. Adjustment takes energy, and we've been here before and we're a bit traumatized. So allow yourself some grace. It's okay. We'll get through this. Now go and have a lovely afternoon defragging. Bye for now.